We've all seen the ending of the Revendreth raid, or of Castle Nathria, where Sire Nathrius gets imprisoned by the light. Now, there's even more that comes out of that, and this has actually been shared with me on Discord. Let me just quickly... Virakshu shared this with me, so let me just quickly open this so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is a quest that you get in Revendreth, that you get sent to the Naru, right? That is, quote-unquote, seemingly imprisoned there, but also just stays there because, well, they don't want to leave. So I'll quickly do a screen share here. All right, so this is basically the Naru. We've talked about this before, but we now have actual evidence of it, so we'll quickly go through it. Home. It calls to me, mortal, and yet I will never know its warmth again. My kind would not perceive me as I was. They would see only an aberration, fractured, tainted by the touch of this realm's dark master. So here we get some idea that the light, the Naru that was captured at the in Revendreth, that Naru that you visit in Revendreth, they've been enslaved by Sire Nathria. So the light scorching that Ember Ward, we all see the mirrors that exists all over Revendreth. Those mirrors sort of magnify and flow the light from that Naru to punish the Venthyr that do not fall in line, if you will, right? And Denathrius is obviously using light for basically sinister purposes, if you will. So here I remain. Now there is but one path before me, to ensure the light is felt here, that justice is rendered, and that death is made to know its place. That, to me, was a rather interesting line. That death is made to know its place. This gives us at least some insights. Right? This tickles the mind a little bit because you go, wait a second, why is the light seemingly trying to show death what its place is? This Naru also tells us that there's been a slight against the light at one point or another. So we go to the next passage. We came seeking justice, retribution, to answer an affront committed upon the light itself. Our numbers were vast, uncountable, every heart burning with righteous fury. Many fell, but not before we unleashed a fire that our enemies could not endure. The seething scar of our vengeance still lingers in the firmament. I lay broken on the battlefield until the unseen ones found me, preserved me, to serve as a vessel for their sire's rage. But I endured. I knew the light had a destiny, for me and for your kind as well, mortal. See, this is where I started to go, hold on. So there's clearly an interest in the light that precedes that of Anduin. Remember, after we leave the mall, Anduin tells the jailer, you have failed, and the jailer says, no, I have exactly what I need. The light. The second Zovaal saw the light being used by Anduin inside the mall, he was sold. He was like, great. Why the light? Why is it that Sire Denathrius seems to be interested in the light as well? More importantly, why is the light so interested in death? Why did the light not only, I mean, they're talking about our numbers were vast, uncountable. In other words, this wasn't just a small, let's attack them to put them in their place. This was a full-blown assault. The light came with a purpose. Now, of course, we do have some evidence here of magnificent strength from the Shadowlands. The fact that their numbers were vast and uncountable and still they lost should tell us something. It should tell us that the Shadowlands is pretty strong, and that really does disprove one of my earlier theories. So one of my earlier theories was that Zovaal wants the light in Anduin because he has struck a bargain with the light. Remember N'Zoth's whisper. The light has struck a bargain with the enemy of all. I thought, that must be Zovaal. Must be Zovaal. The question, however, now becomes rather interesting. When did the light attack? This is another big question that I don't necessarily have the answers to, because we don't necessarily have the answers to. Did the light attack before or after Zovaal? Before he got banished, I should say. When did the light attack? Because if the light attacked before Zovaal was banished, then that means that the reason for Zuvaal's banishment may have been the reason for the light's invasion. Right? It may be exactly the same. However, if the light attacked after his banishment, then it might be that the light has always worked with Zovaal. That maybe they were aligned, so to speak. See a lot of people saying before. Is that guesses, or do you guys have actual evidence that it is before? I mean, the Unseen Ones, he is definitely talking about the Nathrazim. The Nathrazim, also in my opinion, wasn't created until Zovaal was banished. Like, I genuinely believe that the Nathrazim was designed or developed or created because of his banishment. Because the Nathrazim is a direct answer to his banishment. It's trying to find ways into the Shadowlands. It's trying to break free. That's what the Nathrazim serves. That's their purpose. So they would not have existed prior to him being locked up. Why should light attack before Zovaal? Well, it would give us at least some inclination as to why Zovaal was banished. Because what if it was something that Zovaal was doing? What if something that Zovaal was doing was leading to the light's attack? What if this thing that Zovaal was doing, this action that Zovaal was taking, what if that was such an affront to what the Shadowlands was meant to be, that the light attacked and that Zovaal got banished? But on the other hand, the fact that the Unseen Ones were the ones who found him on the battlefield, the Unseen Ones were created specifically to free him. To get Zovaal free. They're working for the Nathrias. The Nathrias works for Zovaal. So I'm starting to think, no. What if Zovaal and the light has always been working together? Remember, Zovaal calls Anduin, if you go...
All that matters is we now possess the necessary instrument. We must begin its preparation.
Leave him.
He calls Anduin an instrument. We must begin its preparation. Anduin is simply, in his mind, a weapon, a tool, a conduit, if you will, for the light. And if I'm correct, remember N'Zoth states that the light has struck a bargain with the enemy of all. If Zovaal wants the light, it would require a catalyst, right, to channel the light. The light can clearly not come into the Shadowlands They tried it once. They came with an unnumbered force, like literally uncountable force, and they were defeated, right? But if they had a champion, something that they could channel all of their light into. And remember, that's the first thing that captured Zovaal's interest. As soon as Anduin started channeling the light, he was like, interesting. That was interesting to him. Anduin now being an instrument, its preparation. That tells me that we might be onto something here. Like, we might be onto something. This is perhaps why he wants Anduin. What's more important to me is how Sylvanas talks about Anduin. He makes Anduin out to be just another tool to be used. Sylvanas, on the other hand, wants Anduin to choose this willingly. She wants him to choose. She doesn't view him as as a weapon. He is immortal. He needs to be able to choose this for himself.
Him to me. You've seen what he is capable of when he believes in the cause. A measure of patience may yield superior results.
Very well. We have our weapon. Now, we shall hone it.
I genuinely, she does admire Anduin. I 100% believe that. Like, I 100% believe that Sylvanas admires Anduin. She has respect for Anduin. And I also don't believe that Sylvanas wants to... I just have the sneaky suspicion she's going to betray the jailer. She needs the jailer right now, but one of the reasons she wants Anduin on her side is so that she no longer requires the jailer. Because I do think what the jailer wants and what Sylvanas wants is not the same thing. Especially considering that the jailer is working with the light. I think I can speak for everyone when I say what the light wants is not in line with what we want. It's not in line with what Sylvanas wants. We can all agree on that, yeah? If I am correct, and Zovaal is indeed working with the light, and I think it's for good reason. I told you guys this before. I think the way in which the Shadowlands has been set up, the way in which the Shadowlands has been built, I think that's why the light attacked. The affront that the light is talking about here. Retribution to answer an affront committed upon the light itself. I think what they're talking about is the fact that the Shadowlands took everything. The fact that the Shadowlands does not leave any souls or anima for anyone else. They take all of it, no matter what. I think that's why they attacked. That might be why the Void attacked as well. If that is correct, then the light is aligned at least with Zovaal insofar as bringing down the Shadowlands. Now we could go further with this and we could say all of the Eternal Ones call Zovaal their brother. But it also seems like they call every Titan level creature brother and sister. What if Zovaal himself is a Titan of the Light? Or used to be? I'm not saying it is, chat. I'm genuinely not saying it is. I'm just saying, what if? What if Zovaal was once a Titan of the Light? This is why the Light was happy to strike a bargain with him, because he is of them. I have no idea of knowing if that's true. I have no idea of even guessing if it's true. I'm just saying, at this point, nothing will fucking surprise me. At this point, nothing Blizzard can do will surprise me one way or the other. I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys, on literally the light theory. More importantly, like, what do you guys think about the light?